Booster. Go. Retro. Go. Vital.
We're go flying.
Guidance. Guidance, go. Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
I feel the need for speed.
You've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Join us or die.
Sends goosebumps down my spine. So awesome. Welcome to Mark Groupie Outdoors, the podcast. And we're glad to have you guys back, who's ever out there in the listening podcast universe. And today we're going to finish up on our topic of social discourse. So Millennial Ryer, our famous producer, tell us where people can follow us at.
I feel like that was a really clunky transition, Mark. Just because I'm a millennial doesn't mean that I'm bad at social discourse. But what I am good at is social media. See, look at that transition there. That was a pretty good one.
Well, I mean, I could have just transitioned from you to incompetency.
We're having technical difficulties.
Anyways, where can they find us, Ryer?
Well, you can find us on Facebook at Mark Groupie Outdoors. Just search that in the search bar. It's up at the top for you baby boomers who may not know where the search bar is. And you can find us on the Instagram at Mark Groupie Outdoors. Groupie is spelled G-R-U-P-E. And, of course, markgroupieoutdoors.com. And the specific podcast page is markgroupieoutdoors.com/podcast.
Well, there you have it. Join us, be a groupie, and we would love to have you. Love to have all your feedback and any great things that you'd like to share with us. Maybe we can share some of that with others. So anyways, great to have you all back. As far as Mark Groupie Outdoors, any good hunting trips and stuff we've had lately? Not so much ourselves, but we have had some good, successful clients and friends. Had some of our members go up and shoot a couple pigs with a rifle and some bow opportunities. And another young man we hosted for graduation present. He came up and got his first pig, and he got it with the bow. And they shot 3 coyotes, called in 5, killed 3 coyotes. So they had a great trip. And we had another hunt last weekend where a guy got his, I believe his first pig was with a rifle, and the other young man hunting we saw a beautiful boar, but couldn't quite get on it. So anyways, I myself have not had any great things happen so much, but most of my job is getting other people on things. So in that aspect, we've been successful and are having a good year. About to finish our new latest turkey video, so that hopefully will be coming out for y'all next week. Got about that wrapped up. Got our media packet pretty much all ready to go out to all the millions of people waiting to advertise with us. So exciting things happening there. So today, I think we'll finish up on the social discourse topic that we've had. And I was just going to let this die because really how much more of a dead horse can you keep beating here? But a couple things I just wanted to touch on are what people doing about this right now, adding to the problems or making the problems worse. And a couple examples. One is I haven't confirmed, but I have heard, and I think it was just from watching ESPN and maybe some people's tweets, that the Golden State Warriors are not going to go to the White House this year because of Donald Trump and what they think of Donald Trump and what Donald Trump's doing. Another thing is Elon Musk and a few other CEOs pulling out of Trump's advisory group because he did not sign the Paris Accord on climate change. So my thoughts on this, we all have, our opinions of our president. I know we've had people in the past, I think, that didn't go to the White House because they didn't want to shake hands with Barack Obama because they didn't like the job he was doing, blah, blah, blah. So where do we go with all this? I mean, if this is people's solution, I'm trying to think what do they think they are gaining by this? So if the Warriors don't want to go to the White House, did that fix anything, or does it make it worse? I mean, to me, as I'm not exactly what you would call a Trump supporter, but I am hoping for good things to come from the administration. If your idea of fixing things is not going to the White House, all you're doing is, in my opinion, is creating more of a rift between you and the Trump supporters and people in this country. You did not bring anybody together. You did not include yourself now in the dialogue of being able to fix things and have a face-to-face with someone. So Elon Musk, if you're pulling out of his advisory group and others, what did you do? What do you think good that is doing? Now you are not an advisor to the president. Now you don't have his ear so much. Now you have drawn a line in the sand. I guess maybe to all your left wing friends that looks like you've done a great and noble thing, but what have you fixed? I don't think you fixed anything. I think you've broken something. You've broken a chance again to have the president's ear. You've broken a chance to bridge a gap in opinion or conversation of the science. We've done nothing here. The congressman from South Carolina, because his name was Joe Wilson, who got up and yelled, "You lie" to Obama during a meeting at Congress, where maybe you think that was the truth. Maybe some of your ardent supporters or something said, "Way to go." But really, what did you do there? Now you have more people on the other side that dislike you even more. You have more people on the other side that dislike Republicans more. You did not open up any dialogue between you and the president. You've done nothing. So we have all these sides that seem to be doing things that are creating the opposite of what we hope. And I'm going to hope that this is all just a big learning curve for social media, that everyone's just got to learn how to start checking themselves and this access we have to being able to say whatever in heck's on top of our mind, and with no, we can say things anonymously. We don't have to be, face to face with somebody. Now we can just thumb it out and walk away. We never have to look at the person, never have to have a discussion with the person. So anyways, I am hoping, and I actually think I see some positive signs on that. I see some people that I know are pretty conservative and pretty right wing going, yeah, I think things need to be a little bit different in the way we talk in the way we talk about things. So I'm hopeful there, and for all of you that are new to listening, we had in the topic of listening to someone who's got a different opinion from you. We had Sawyer Fisher, a Facebook friend who, because he listened, won a overnight pig hunt with us at Mark Groupie Outdoors. So we'll be reaching out to him and setting up a date. So it pays to listen. So I don't know if we'll give away anything on this or not. Maybe I'll have to think as we roll here.
You just have to stay tuned. You just have to keep listening.
You'll just have to
keep
keep listening, because it's not going to come to the very end. Good things for those who wait.
Well, I have a question for you, Mark.
Spit it out, boy.
So, are you aware of the term meme? You know what a meme is? So it's the pictures generally, and they have they have words on them. They're normally kind of gotcha sort of pictures.
Oh, yes.
So
yes, I remember seeing one after Trump made one of his comments during the campaign. It was a Trump train, going off some tracks or something like that, and so yes. So
a lot of times I see them, and maybe I see them more on my feed than yours, just because I'm the hashtag dreaded millennial. But I tend to see them a lot, and they have a tendency to take large, very complicated issues and boil them down into a couple lines of very simplistic argument. And I don't know, maybe because you haven't seen as much of them, if you don't have as much of a thought on this, but maybe you do. Do you think those are hurting people's conversations? Because now, instead of even articulating their thoughts with a paragraph, they articulate their opinions with a picture and maybe 1 to 2 sentences, and then don't have a conversation after it.
No, I think that's very true. My dad told me, I think it was Einstein or some brain like that said, "Show me a simple solution to a complex problem, and I will show you a solution that doesn't work." And so I think that's very true when you try to simplify all this. It's in politics, and where all the money gets spent and everything like that. People want to tighten up on things until it's their ox that's getting gored. So I love all our public lands and everything like that. I've just got this personal interest in maintaining national forests and not letting it go private, keeping access for people. Some people, I think there's a lot of people in the administration that feel that stuff should be sold off so we can make taxes money on it. So and you can just go on down the line of where we spend money. But some people think we should spend money on the military, and some people don't. Some people think we should spend more on social services, some don't. So everyone's, it's not so simple as we're wasting money, and a picture of money being torched or something like that. Everyone likes to see it getting spent on the stuff that they like, but no one likes it being spent on the other stuff. So, when you make these giant, broad generalizations, and try to come up with a one-line solution or one-line got you, that is pretty counterproductive, in my opinion, or as you millennials say, IMO.
Wow, you're up to date on the texting lingo, Mark.
Thank you.
You know what LOL means? It's a tough one. Very obscure, not commonly used.
Yes, I know what that means.
This one. Well, you're throwing out all these terms. I just want to make sure.
LMFAO.
It was actually a band. I'm not sure if they're still around. They used to make dance music, I think. Electronic. I don't know.
LMFAO?
Yeah, LMFAO.
Okay.
They one of their hit songs was "I'm Sexy and I Know It." It was very big.
It's been my theme song for my whole life. What else do we got? Do you have you had a few different subjects you were panning through. I see Harvard has booted 20-something new admission students because of their social media posts in which they were homophobic or racist or anti-Semitic or whatever, which I don't know. It seems like a lot of stuff gets said at Harvard. I guess the wrong stuff is is what gets you. But anyways, along the same lines, when do we say we're not going to tolerate bad behavior, and when do we say we've got to welcome some of it to keep open dialogue? So I'm not sure what slamming the doors on people with different posts or political points of view does, nor am I sure what good it does to post things that are somewhat hateful towards one group or another. So anyways, again, it looks
like this is another story of memes.
Is it?
Yes. The Crimson, I guess, which is the
paper there
at Harvard.
Harvard
says Harvard College rescinded admissions offers to at least 10 prospective members of the class of 2021 after the students traded sexually explicit memes and messages that sometimes targeted minority groups in a private Facebook group chat.
Okay, so I guess the universities have their police out there, and or this is Harvard a university or a college? You said college.
Up here it says Harvard College. College is capitalized, so that must be their official title.
All right. Anyways,
what's the difference?
If these for all you young people out there listening that are getting ready to go to school, note the things that you type on your post, and they're a bit edgy, they may get you booted. Now, Harvard is a private institution. They are not subject to the First Amendment, where you can say pretty much what you want, but still, it seems like the thought police and the speech police are out in force.
So for an idea of what kind of stuff they posted, in case people want context, it said one of these memes called the hypothetical hanging of a Mexican child, quote, piñata time. So that's kind of what they're dealing with, in case that puts more into context the thoughts Harvard had on why they wouldn't want to admit these kids. Certainly not very sightly.
Yes. And so, if you're a kid, saying those things is never a good idea. Or if you're not a kid, it's not a good idea. But you can't, in these days of what you say now is in print, is print forever. You need to be a little more, obviously, have a little more thought to your future when you're putting things out. But I would venture to guess that you could pretty much take 90-something% of the students going to Harvard, and if you could find the worst things that they have all said to each other in a private conversation, pretty much all of them would be expelled from school. So, where do we draw the line? But people, stop thumbing it out. That's all I can say. When you got these tasteless things coming through your mind, and you've got a future about going somewhere, I got to think about it when I do these podcasts or make posts, and you want to be a little bit edgy or something like that. You got to remember that if you want people to sign your name on the dotted line to support you sometime, what comes out of your mouth or off your fingertips, better keep an eye on. Well, did you have some fish and game?
We do. We've got a whole lineup here of different things.
We've got a lineup of fish and game and topics to skip through real quick.
So these are all coming from outdoornews.com, which, as you guessed, is a provider of outdoor news. All right, we'll run through these. We've got, in Alaska, 7 bears killed so far this year in defensive shootings. Would you like to learn more, or skip to the next one?
Well, I wonder how many were killed last year. I wonder if that's if that's a normal amount or not. But just as we increase our human presence more into the area of animal presence, these conflicts are just unavoidable. So as cities grow more into the outskirts, especially in wild places like Alaska, you're just bound to have more of these conflicts. So I think that's unfortunately a way of life. Unfortunate for the people that are hurt or killed, and unfortunate for the bears that have to be disposed of also. So, but in my opinion, there's just no way of avoiding that as there's more of us and expanding into less and less space. This is just going to happen. Next topic.
All right. In Colorado, my home state, a moose warning after attack on woman, dog.
Can you elaborate more on this? Did a woman and dog get too close to moose and her calf? I know it's about moosing season right now, moose calving season.
Yes, I will read further. Boulder, Colorado Parks and Wildlife officials are calling for people to be wary of moose after one attacked 2 women and a dog. The Daily Camera reported earlier this week that a 64-year-old woman was gardening in her backyard when she heard her dog barking and turned around to see a moose with 2 calves attacking the dog. The woman told a Boulder County Sheriff's deputy the moose began attacking her when she ran toward her house. The 60-year-old woman who was inside the house heard screaming and came outside and was then attacked. The moose stopped attacking and fled when one of its calves ran away.
So this is the exact same thing. You've got a large animal that would defend itself and its babies, and you've got people creeping up into its homeland. And, their natural defenses, when they can, are going to be fight to save their babies, just as you and I would fight to save our babies. So again, what are you going to do about this? The whole thing is unfortunate conflict that is just inevitable. And so now, do you dispose of the moose and its calves? I guess you just put out a moose alert. Is the plural of moose meese or
Meeson?
Moosin? I don't know.
Mouse?
Who knows?
Mooses.
So we've got some Facebook people that have chimed in here. Why we've
Did you post right now?
I posted saying for any good topics, and
I didn't plan this on our episode planner.
The boards have lit up. It says
caller number 1.
Okay, we've got Facebook follower Chris Avina. How do you train for different hunts, i.e. brown bear hunts versus mountain goat hunts? How would the training differ? Well, some of that is going to depend on whether that's a do-it-yourself hunt or a guided hunt. You have to determine on how much gear that you will have to pack yourself, how much infrastructure that you will need, and what you're going to have to take with you. Certainly on a mountain goat hunt, at high altitudes, steep, dangerous country, you're going to have, it's impossible to be in too good a shape. Now, if you're having that guided, maybe you just have to take your own personal needs with you for the day, and your gun and your bow, and be in good enough shape to get you up and down the hill. If you're doing it yourself, you need to have a whole logistics plan set into place where you know where you're going to be. You've brought all your food. You've set up your base camps, or you've hauled enough food with you to bivvy out for the night. So the training, a lot of it is going to differ on whether you're doing it yourself or somebody is doing a lot of that stuff for you. I've known some people that have done some grizzly hunts that were not physically in the best of the shape. Some of the guides that I had seen for it were not in the best of the shapes, but the terrain is a little less severe than the goat hunting. And once you get a goat down, only part of your work is done. You have to break that animal down, get it on your pack, and get it off the hill. again, going back to the guided thing, when you've got an outfitter and there's maybe a couple of them helping glass and everything like that, now you've got a few different people to spread the meat and the hide on and get it down the hill. So a lot of the biggest difference, between the two is the rougher terrain that you'll probably have to be in for the goats. And you're going to probably have to be in a little bit better physical shape. And, with the bear thing, you're going to have also the danger that the bear itself presents. Although you can certainly run into bears while you're doing your goat hunting, because they do cross over some of the same habitat. So I don't know if that answers a lot of it, but that would be my answer to start with. Next one we have is Matthew Kata. He asks, what's the best way to prep deer meat? Now, I don't know if that is for when you're breaking it down out in the field, or when you get it back home, or what. So I'll just I'll run through a few things. One is you want to get the guts out and it cooled off as quickly as possible. So that is the first most important thing in preparing your meat. That means recovering it as quickly as possible. If you don't have, I see some TV shows where I swear they've left some of these animals overnight just because they wanted pictures during broad daylight, and a dead animal laying down on warm or even cool ground, and especially an elk-sized animal, is really a good way for that animal to go south on you. So the first most important thing in prepping that meat is making sure you get the hide off, you get the guts out, and get that animal cooling down as quick as possible. Then I get the animal back, and if I can, at our ranch, if I can get it hanging in a cooler as quick as possible to add to the cooling process. If I have to take that animal home, what I've started doing lately is, and it is still warm, I break that animal down. I quarter it, take the back straps off, ribs out, tenderloins, neck roast, whatnot, and I have an ice chest and water and ice slush that's about 6 inches deep, and I throw those cuts in there right away and just kind of flash cool them down, and as opposed to a bunch of warm meat piled on top of itself with some ice dumped over the top. So, then after that, once you're getting it home, I think prepping that deer meat, if you can age it, let it hang in a very cool temperature for a week is a great way to prepare the meat for the best eating, and then season and cooking to your choice. So I don't know which sort of preparation, Matthew, you're exactly referring to, but maybe I started that. Bobby Gilligan, what have you said here? Crickets. Give me a minute. I'll think of something. Well, it's too late. Bobby Jean. Oh, never mind. If you can't say something nice, don't say it at all, Mark. John Terigian, best way to take care of your meat in the heat. Well,
what heat? It's very cool right now.
What meat? All right, taking care of your meat in the heat. Well, we just touched on some of that, but one of the things, and I'm thinking back to, I should have included in that other answer I just did, is if you shoot an animal and you're quartering it up and you're throwing it all right into a backpack to take it out, if that meat is hot and you're piling it on top of each other in your backpack, you might really want to consider that. You're almost better off quartering that animal up, getting in the, even if it's warm outside, getting it in the shade, exposing it to a little air or a little breeze or something, but certainly piling that hot meat on top of each other in a backpack covering it up so no heat can get out and carrying it out is things are going to go south there. So if you shoot a deer in the morning and you're not near any in any way getting it cool right away, get it down, quarter it up, bag it, hang it in a tree, let some air circulate around it, let the cooling process start. And if that animal's going to have to be in your backpack for an hour or 2 hours while you pack it out, you might want to think about waiting to the evening for it to start, unless it's so hot and you're baking right in the open and you don't have a choice but to get it out of there. So then once I get it back, having that big ice chest with a big ice slush in there, and boom, I can throw it in there and I can start to let it bathe in there, each cut bathe in there for 5 or 10 minutes or something, and then throw it into another cooler with ice on top of it. I've started that chilling process, and I think that's a good way of dealing with your meat in the heat. Yeah, John. Yeah. And his next comment was, my comment sounds like a joke waiting to happen. Very good. I guess our great minds think alike, because I had to go there. Let's see.
It's just too easy
yes.
of a target.
Friend Ben Gibson says, I'm cracking up, John. Ha ha ha. So yes, John, you baited the hook and we all bit. So, well, looks like Bobby Jean hasn't chimed in. So if you're not gonna contribute to the conversation, darn it, Bobby Jean, then we just don't have an answer for you. What else we got, Ryer? Anything else?
Well, we can keep going through the news roundup here if you'd like to. We've got,
all right, give us one more news item, and then if we have another topic, we'll go with that.
Should comment on there that it's urgent. Time is running out.
Yeah.
Urgency always spurs people to action.
Okay, okay, so that's great about this social media, isn't it? We can just like right in touch with our people. So
you guys are going to have to give Mark a few minutes here.
Yeah,
he can only type with one finger.
Yes, I can only. Time is running out. Time is running. This is painful to listen to. It's almost
time may be running, but Mark's hands are barely crawling.
Are barely crawling.
This is very exciting content. You guys are listening to the real life social media life.
Time is running out for you.
Own Mark Groupie.
Time is running out for you, and then we do. What over here? We can do share, copy link. All right, I promise I won't make you bear with this any longer. Paste, continue, publish, done. Anyways, so give us another subject.
Okay, Wyoming coalition seeks ban on cyanide traps to kill coyotes.
Well, I don't know how popular that coalition is, but in California they did ban it. I don't know how many states it is banned in already, but in California that was a very effective way of getting rid of coyotes, and unfortunately we lost that. We lost leg hold traps. We lost almost everything effective, and our game has been hammered because of it. I mean, the quantity of coyotes and bobcats and lions and bears that are basically unchecked has, I believe, has the balance swung a long ways into the predator's favor. So, but in California, I think the mindset is, well, the animals belong to the animals before the animals belong to the humans. So I think they really don't care if we think there's enough deer or not. It's whether the bears have enough to eat, and as soon as all the bears and coyotes and everything start packing off people's dogs and everything, then maybe we'll hear more about it. But then we're back to our original subject of our humans just intruding too much on animals' habitat. So give us one more. Give us one more, topic, and then we'll wrap it up for the day.
All right. Let's see here. Well, this one is interesting, more political. Monument review includes oceans, tribal lands, and sequoias. And
so is that have to do with Trump naming or removing certain things from as a national monument, or?
All right. So President Trump calls to review 27 national monuments established by 3 former presidents, put in limbo protections on large swaths of land home to ancient cliff dwellings, towering sequoia trees, deep canyons, and ocean habitats where seals, whales, and sea turtles roam. Trump and other critics say presidents have lost sight of the original purpose of the law created by Theodore Roosevelt that was designed to protect particular historical or archaeological sites rather than wide expanses. So the 5 monuments that they are wanting to reconsider are Bears Ears National Monument in Utah, Northeast Canyons and Seamounts Marine National Monument in Maine, Giant Sequoia National Monument in California, some Hawaiian word that I'm not even going to try to say.
Kamanawanalea?
Maybe. I can't even tell you if the spelling is close to that. I could spell it, but then we'd have probably over a character limit on Twitter, so it's a marine national monument in Hawaii.
Anyway, so these monuments are up for consideration?
Well, they already are monuments.
Right. And we remove monument status?
Remove monument status or reduce the amount of land area dedicated to that particular monument.
Again, some of this stuff appears to me, if you're the conspiracy sort of person like I am, that a lot of this stuff, these areas that designated as all of a sudden national parks or monuments or stuff is really a way of controlling our behavior and controlling our way that we use these. When something gets converted from a national forest to a wilderness area to a national park, it all has to do with the way we use these things. The land doesn't go anywhere, but a wilderness area, now all of a sudden you can't take vehicles and stuff like that into those areas, which, depending on who you are, is good or bad. Then you convert it to a national park. Now you can't do anything consumptive in there, logging, hunting, whatnot. So, again, looking for the balance. Can we preserve these monuments or these memorials without overly restricting people's use of this land? So,
looks like you're right. Most of these monuments, the people who oppose them or want some of the restrictions lifted or the size reduced is because of different economic reasons. You've got anywhere from some of the marine ones, you're not allowed to fish there. Some of them you're not allowed to log there. Other ones have, coal or energy sources that you can't take advantage of there because it's protected land. So it looks like most of the people who want some of these reversed are in it for economic reasons.
Yeah, economic and opportunity reasons, and when they become national monuments or national parks, we lose a little bit of freedom on this land. So, well, I think that about does it for today. I think we've for those of you wishing to look for another sleep aid before you go to bed at night, I think we've pretty much provided that for you. So, if you've gotten any thoughts, responses, let's see, what should we give away? Let's give away some olive oil. So whoever listens, the first person who responds that they listen to this podcast after we publish it, we're going to send them a bottle of olive oil. We'll give you a choice.
There needs to be a secret word. They have to put a secret word in a comment.
A secret word.
Or a secret phrase.
How about groupie?
And you have to spell it correctly.
Groupie. That would be GRUPE GROUPIE. Groupie.
All right. So if they put groupie,
if they put
in the comments,
if they put once we post this, if in the comments section on Mark Groupie Outdoors Facebook page, you do that, you get either a free Mark Groupie's Outdoor hat or a free bottle of our own Shady Oaks olive oil. So,
which is very good olive oil.
It's very good olive oil. We've spread it throughout the country. We have people as far away as Connecticut, Texas, Northern California. Where else do we have people join it? Idaho, South Carolina. Got friends all over the country enjoying this olive oil. So let us get to you some olive oil or a free hat. Just type in groupie to the comment section. So Ryer, once again, tell us where they can find us.
Well, if you want to be a groupie, you can. There it is. You can find us on Facebook at Mark Groupie Outdoors, GRUPE, Instagram, Mark Groupie Outdoors, and of course, our website contains all of our very exciting content, markgroupieoutdoors.com. We've got videos, we've got articles, we've got podcasts and pictures and lots of words. You know, you could dig into the programming. There's lots of cool code there for any of you guys who like that, but mostly markgroupieoutdoors.com.
Well, thank you once again for listening very much, and we've appreciated the feedback that we have had from the listeners, and we've got a lot of positive feedback. So we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope we entertained you for a little while here, and we will see you next time at Mark Groupie Outdoors, the podcast.